Let's hit our calls of the day now. First up, Bank of America making a bullish call on Exxon. Pete, they reiterate the buy at BofA, $90 price target. That's a big jump from here, 45%. You have XOM calls, Pete.
Yeah, and they identify the free cash flows. There's a lot of different things that are very positive about what Bank of America's call is here. I like what they're talking about here, Scott. I don't know whether or not I buy into the idea of the price target that they've got out there, but I'm excited about it, being a guy who owns the calls for this. I own Chevron stock, and I own a lot of the different beta names right now in exposure, and I've done that since November when it really started to really hit on our systems, and it just continues. So I continue to see it even as recently as this morning. We were seeing in NOV, we were seeing some call buying. We've seen it across the board in this energy space for a while now. I like Exxon. I don't like it enough to own it as a stock, though. I choose to have Chevron as a stock. In the past, I liked Exxon. I think Exxon has to prove it still to me that they're going to be disciplined. And that's what a lot of this is all about with the changes in the boardroom is, will they be more disciplined? They're saying yes. Obviously, Bank of America agrees.
Hey, Pete, forgive me for, I hope I'm not putting you on the spot. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't. Do you know, like, what calls are like shorter dated, longer dated, like what the actual numbers are behind the calls you have in Exxon?
Oh, sure. What I do oftentimes with Exxon, Scott, is it's just a different way of looking at things. So I don't like to be in ETFs. I'd much rather be in an individual stock. So whether or not Exxon Mobil hit is not really the case. It's XLE. When people are buying huge calls in something like the XLE, when you look at 40% of that representation is either Chevron or Exxon with that 40% level, I move over and I do trades that are oftentimes over in something like Exxon. That's what I did here. And they're fairly short term, 1 month out and just above where the stock is right now. Yep.
Oh, good. Good stuff. Appreciate it. And I hope I didn't put you on the spot there, but
sure.
But thanks for handling that.
Not at all.
All right. Coca-Cola is the other call of the day I want to talk about because it did get another call today, and that is a reiterating of outperform at Credit Suisse. I had it up and then I lost it, but there it is. Steph and Pete both own Coca-Cola. The Linkster, you go first.
Yeah, it's been like a miserable investment. It's flat year to date. It lagged all last year because 50% of its business is on-prem. So it actually is a reopen name. And that's why I really do like it. And while we wait for the reopen, you get a 3% yield, which is very well secured. So the other thing is the CEO has been focused on increasing their organic growth. And so they can return to 7% organic growth, which compares to 3 to 5% 5 years prior to 2019. So they have this plan with new products, new initiative, cost efficiencies. So I think the setup is really good, but it's not been fun to own. But it is a very large position for me within the staples sector.
Michael Farr, do you want to make the case for Pepsi over Coca-Cola? Because that's where you've placed your own bets.
It is where I place my own bets, and Coca-Cola, very fine company, and you never bet against Stephanie Link, right? Just don't bet against Stephanie. But if I'm going to choose between the two, I prefer Pepsi. I like the more diversified business. I've got a 3%, almost 3% dividend. I've got a 10% earnings grower at a pretty reasonable price. So I get the Coke trade, but I like the more diversified business, and it's another reopening trade too. You get a lot of the same argument with Pepsi, and it's where I've got my money.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's another one that hasn't really done anything year to date. To Steph's frustrations in Coca-Cola, it's not like Pepsi has knocked it out of the park either, Michael Farr.
No, it started pretty well at the beginning of the year and went down and has come back up. I mean, but the trend on Pepsi and Coke look pretty good right now.